what it comes down to me is which one's going to give me a chiropractor bill afterwards, and Haunted Mansion is not that one, so I'm going to take Haunted Mansion.
Yeah. Unless you decide to get in the Doom buggy with two other people, two other full-size adults, then you could have it. Yeah, exactly. You could have a
issues.
chiropractor bill there.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Grinning Dads, where three Disney-obsessed dads talk tips, tricks, and a whole lot more. I'm Caleb, and I have Charlie and Tyler joining me, as always. We three dads are, in fact, travel advisors, so if you would like one of us to help you plan out your next vacation to Disney or anywhere else, drop us a comment below, send us a message, or fill out the form in the description. We're in March now, officially. And there's this really cool thing that happens every March that people go nuts for, and it's called March Madness. And today we'll be doing our own Disney Parks Madness, but more on that later. First, Tyler just got back from Disneyland, and I kind of want to hear more about that trip. So Tyler, take it away. How was the trip?
It was great, even though it was too brief because we only really had one full day in the park. But we flew out last Friday night, got in kind of late, just enough time to have dinner. So all day Saturday, we were at Disneyland. Of course, we were there for Rope Drop. Did a few of the rides around Fantasyland. The main point of the trip was for my daughter's birthday, but also the main point of the trip for me was to try some of the new snacks that have been released recently. So the first thing we ate, I did get to try the breakfast cheesy garlic pretzel bread. So if you did not know, so it's the normal cheesy garlic pretzel bread with sausage and scrambled eggs. This thing was really good, but it was huge. So I could not finish it by myself. So it did take a couple of us working on it, but it was pretty good. I don't think I like it more than just the regular bread, but it was a pretty cool addition. It did have a line around the corner at Maurice's Treats, which shouldn't be surprised because once something like this gets posted out there, everybody has to try it, but they were very, very efficient. For lunch, I did get to try the Sweet Heat Beignet chicken sandwich. This thing, You guys, was awesome. I don't know what I was really expecting, but it did exceed my expectations. They put a lot of buffalo sauce on it, which I really like, so it had a nice kick right away, but then the sweetness of the beignets did kind of balance it out. And then the pickles and the collard greens that came with it were excellent. So for $15 for a pretty good sized plate of food from Tiana's, easily the best thing I've had at Tiana's, by the way. This was my third time going there. I hadn't loved it either of the two previous times, but I had to go just for this sandwich. I would absolutely get it again. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah. And then in the middle of the day, my daughter got to go to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and do the whole makeover and photo shoot, which was amazing. So it was all about her since it's her birthday, of course. And then, we just did a handful of rides, and we ended up having a nice sit-down dinner at Cafe Orleans outside because the weather was really, really nice, which I had the Monte Cristo sandwich, and it was a wonderful way to end the day. And then on the next morning, before we flew out, we had our character breakfast at Storytellers Café. And I have mixed feelings about this because it did kind of meet my theory. If you guys remember when I talked about character dining, how I've never had the best combination of really good food and really good character interaction at a character meal. Well, this one, the food was pretty good. The character interaction was lacking. We were kind of off in one of the corners of the restaurant, and that we had a couple of the characters come by because they had Mickey, Minnie, Chip and Dale, and Goofy were kind of making their rounds, and we had nobody for about the first 30 minutes. And then eventually we had, I think it was Chip came by, but we had to ask the cast members to have the characters kind of rotate over by us. And we didn't get the last one. We were all done eating and paid and everything and waited another like 15, 20 minutes to get all the characters to come over. And if we hadn't said anything, we would have missed out on it. So I will say the food is very good, but I think the experience can vary greatly depending on where you're sitting, because we were kind of off to the side. If you're in one of those sections kind of in the middle of the dining room, you're just naturally going to get more characters that go by you. So I would recommend Storytellers personally over Goofy's Kitchen, because I just think the food is better. But I would request a table kind of in the middle of the dining room to have the best possible experience. So that was
Wow,
our trip.
that's kind
when
of
we
interesting.
Went, isn't that where we sat? Was
Yeah,
kind
we
of
were
towards
almost in
middle?
the exact same booth. No, we were off to the side. We were like, I had kind of made a note of that. We were like, when you walk in, we were like all the way off to the left-hand side. We were almost in the exact same booth. Like we were sat like one over from where we sat when we were there, Charlie. And yeah, I felt like, yeah, just the characters, it wasn't quite hitting. I mean, we ended up getting all of them, but we had to say something. And that kind of takes some of the magic out of it, right? Because it should feel like they're hitting everybody. So
Right.
So when we were there, did you feel like the interaction was lacking? Because I had never done a character breakfast or like a character meal, because again, when I went, mostly as a teenager and older, we didn't do those types of things.
yeah.
So what would you say, was it worse or was it on par with what we saw?
I think when we were there, it was slightly better than what we had this past week.
Okay.
And I think part of it is it is a pretty large space, and they're trying to cover it with only a couple characters at a time, and then every like half hour or so, the music changes, and then like all 5 characters that are there will come out and kind of do their little dance and like make their circle around the dining room. But then I guess they probably just take turns, who's going on break and whatnot. So they're trying to cover a lot of ground with only maybe 2 or 3 characters at a time. And I get that it's a tough job, because it's hard to work out with the timing of everybody, because it's not like you seat everybody at once, where like on Disney Cruise Line it's a little different, right? Because there's 2 dinner seating, so everybody's seated at the same time, so you kind of know where everybody's at in their dining experience. This one, you have 10 tables and they're at 10 different points in their experience, so it's hard to keep tabs on who's done what. Thankfully, the cast members were very cool when we said something like, hey, we still need to see, I forget who the last one was. I think it was Minnie and Dale or something like that. And they were really, really cool about it and brought them over. So that was awesome. But in a perfect world, you shouldn't have to say anything. It should just kind of happen organically. So I wouldn't say it ruined the experience, because again, the food at this, for a buffet, I would say it's well above average for a Disney buffet. But it just didn't quite hit all the points that I would have liked personally.
Yeah. And
do you think so Audrey and Tim from the Dreaming of Disney podcast, which love them, those guys, she had said that is one of her favorite character dinings to go to, of both parks, right? Both coasts.
Yeah.
Was it still a better, even though you had to ask the cast members to come in and kind of intervene, do you still think it was a better experience than something over in World?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think, like, of the character dinings I've done at World, like, I would say the food is probably, especially for a buffet, because, not every character dining is a buffet, right? So, like, I would compare it to something like Ohana. I think I would say the food is better at Storytellers, but the character interaction is better at Ohana. I think they're just a little bit more efficient about it, at least the last time I was there. Yeah, I mean, if we're going purely based on food, it's probably the best character dining that I've done. But for the price that you're paying, I would love to be able to hit both.
Yep.
Yeah, I've never done a character dining ever, so.
Yeah, I mean, and they are fun, but I think I've made this point on an episode before. It's the cruise line hits it the best, but I think it's because they have a little bit more control over the total experience than people just walking in to a restaurant at different times. So
that makes sense.
It's kind of an unfair advantage, and it's a captive audience. So they just control more of the experience.
There's not a whole lot of more places that they can go on a cruise ship.
Nope.
Well, right, but it's like, especially for dinner, it's like, I mean, there are some of the quick services, but like, if you're there with, like my family of four, like whatever the dinner seating time is, if you have like the 5:30 dinner, it's like, well, you're going to dinner at 5:30 or you're just going to quick service. And, one of the whole points of DCL, not to get us derailed into that, is like the theming of the rotational dining restaurants is incredible. So when you throw in some of the character stuff that they can do there, like the Marvel, Worlds of Marvel restaurant, like when Spider-Man goes around, like that's super cool. But it's all, choreographed so well based on where you're at in the meal. So, um, yeah, not to get us sidetracked on that, but I would do Storytellers again. I think I would just request a different location in the dining room, because I was kind of looking around and like the people that were seated in the middle, just based on where the characters came out, would kind of go there first. So not that it's not anybody's fault, but it's just kind of, it just happens that way. So I would try to say, let's get in the middle. We're just going to naturally have more people passing us, so that interaction can be a little better.
No, that makes sense.
And coming from somebody who had never done any of those things, I was like, this is amazing. These guys are coming over to us, and didn't even know that we missed some of the characters that were potentially walking around, which is a bummer. I mean, they did come to us, but I do feel like I don't remember Goofy being there, because I would have absolutely requested a picture with Goofy.
Yeah, I don't think Goofy's usually at Storytellers because he has his own place.
Goofy's Kitchen.
Yeah. So it's usually like Mickey, Minnie, Chip and Dale, and then they'll like rotate who the fifth one is, because they'll do like seasonal things. Like I know during the fall they had, I think Donald and Clarabelle were there, so they kind of switch them out. But it's, that Storytellers is, themed about like the folklore of California. So they have these kind of like adventure kind of outfits on. So they kind of tie into that, which makes sense. But yeah, hopefully next time it can be better.
And you didn't stay on property, right?
No, we stayed at the Anaheim Majestic. So close by, free shuttle. Yeah, hard to beat.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, did you notice that there were anybody that in the crowds that were disgruntled because they didn't have early entry?
Well, so we got into the park. By the time we scanned in the gate, it was after 7:30, and then rope drop was at 8. So we didn't see or hear really any of that. We just kind of made our way down Main Street and into the crowd, because we knew we were going to Peter Pan first. So just beeline kind of right through the castle. And then like Peter Pan was the longest wait we had all day of the rides that we did. And it was at rope drop, and it was about 30 minutes because we were a little bit later getting there than I would have liked, but that's okay.
Did you do Lightning Lane?
Oh yeah.
Of course. Yeah, no,
yeah.
I was just
and it was a big benefit too. The only major ride that was closed the day we were there was Jungle Cruise. But we basically walked on to Indiana Jones with Lightning Lane, which is awesome.
That's awesome. I feel like even we had to wait when we used Lightning Lane
we did.
for Indy.
We did have to wait. It was like 20 minutes in Lightning Lane that we waited.
Yeah, like I wanted to like stop in the screening room and try to find the EOR parking sign, but we literally couldn't stop because we were just walking straight through.
Yeah. No, I was just pulling up our TikTok account, and our spot that our TikTok that we're talking about early entry and the Disneyland hotels or resorts going away. We're at like almost 4,000 views on that right now. And it's like, there's a lot of people.
People have opinions.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that are not the happiest that early entry went away. And I was just curious.
I think I would argue though, that I think a lot of those people, because I looked through the comments and there were some people saying like, oh, I used to stay on property, now I won't anymore. But I would argue that a lot of people, if you're budget conscious, you're probably not staying on property to begin with.
Anyway, right.
Because the perk that they had before, like 30 minutes early entry, was not enough to sway like one way or the other. Like that's certainly like when we stayed at Disneyland Hotel last year, it wasn't the early entry. Like we just wanted to stay at the Disneyland Hotel, one time. So we checked that box, and now we can move on. The only one I
Move
haven't
on
checked
with your
off
life.
yet is Grand Californian, and unless Disney ever
I
wants
stayed
to
there.
host me there, yeah, you stayed there and you didn't pay for it, which is the right way to do it.
Correct.
So if
I
Disney
actually
ever
just
wanted to host me there, I'd be happy to stay there. But until then, I'm good.
I actually just commented on one of our comments on TikTok about the Grand Californian, and they had said that they'd love staying at Grand Californian, but it's definitely hard to justify now that early entry's gone. And I'm like, it's hard to justify, period.
Yeah, and
I don't know if I'd ever stay there.
The best
on
things
purpose.
about it, again, you don't have to stay there to experience the best things about it. I mean, you can go to Storytellers, you can make a reservation at Napa Rose, you can hang out
Visit
in
the
the lobby
lobby.
by the fireplace.
Lobby's
Like,
gorgeous.
right. So like we just kind of lingered in the lobby for a little bit, like before our reservation, because we took the shuttle and then just kind of walked through downtown Disney, went in the kind of side entrance into the Grand, and then just kind of lingered because we had a few minutes to kill. Just like that lobby is just incredible.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So like all those best little details you can save your $800 a night and appreciate anyway.
Yeah, for sure. But no, that sounds like at least it was a good trip for you guys. But we're going to segue on to a couple news items. Charlie, you said you had a breaking news about our pal Figment.
Yeah, I'm gonna read this and we'll talk about it in a second. So Epcot fans have been scratching their heads all week over a strange new addition to the ImageWorks interactive area at the Imagination Pavilion. Tucked away next to the digital stepping stones is a solitary, unassuming touchscreen kiosk with a single instruction: learn not to draw. So for days, guests have been approaching the screen, picking up the digital stylus and attempting to sketch. But the moment the pen touches the glass, an animation of Figment pops up, shakes his head, and uses a giant eraser to wipe the screen clean, saying, "No, no, no, don't draw. Imagine." Most guests have dismissed it as a quirky, slightly confusing new game, but last night, a dedicated theme park sleuth uncovered what might be the biggest Disney parks Easter egg of the decade.
Wow,
So the
that's a big word.
83-second secret. Yeah. Theme park vlogger Epcot Explorer 99 posted a video early this morning. I think this is actually yesterday, revealing the trick to the kiosk. To win the game, a guest must hold the stylus over the center of the screen without letting it touch the glass for exactly 83 seconds. A clever nod to 1983, which is the year of the original Journey into Imagination. If you have the patience to hold it still, the screen begins to emit a familiar, long-lost sound, the chugging, whimsical gears of the Dreammobile. This is a quote from Epcot Explorer. "I couldn't believe my eyes. The screen faded to black, and suddenly a blueprint of the original track layout appeared. Then a steampunk blimp flew across the top, dropped a bucket of purple paint, and spelled out Project Spark Imagination Restored, commencing fall?"
What?
If this Easter egg is to be believed, the Imagination Institute is fully closing its doors. Fans have speculated for years that the Disney was secretly working on a version 4.0 of the ride that would ditch the clinical Dr. Nigel Channing theme and return the attraction to its grandiose theatrical roots alongside Dreamfinder and a fully realized Figment. While Disney Imagineering has officially declined to comment on the Learn Not to Draw kiosk, parkgoers have noticed construction walls quietly going up behind the pavilion's DVC lounge, and permits for theatrical set modifications were filed with Orange County late last month. Could the Learn Not to Draw exhibit be Imagineering's cheeky way of telling us to stop trying to design the ride ourselves because they finally figured it out? For now, we're just going to have to wait, hold our styluses still, and use our imagination.
So we're going to do that when we're in Epcot, right, Tyler?
Yep.
Yep. All right. So
I've never rope dropped Journey into Imagination, but
No, but I might now.
Well, unfortunately, you guys will not be doing that now either, because this is a completely fictional story created for entertainment purposes. As of right now, Dr. Channing and the sensory labs are still firmly in place at Epcot.
No.
Why did
Gotta
you do
even-
that?
Why would I
It's
do
not
that?
even
Because I
April.
want it so bad. I
It's not
want it
even
so
April
bad.
yet.
I want them to treat Figment with the discourse that he should have and do some cool things. So this whole idea for this write-up for this article came to me from, they just released Learn Not to Draw Figment on Disney Plus. And
Right.
it's super cool. They show, Figment goes through all of these things. What are they doing releasing a Figment thing in 2026? I mean, Figment's awesome. I love Figment. But people who don't know what Figment is and wouldn't and have read these guides that tell them that it's like a 2 out of 5 or 2 out of 4, not worth going to, you're going to smell the same smells and all of that stuff, and it's a revision, like all of that stuff. People just don't know. So like they're I mean, maybe there's something to this, but probably not.
Dang it.
I mean, I would have to think eventually they would do something, but it's probably not a priority with everything else that's going on around the property.
But tomorrow,
that is.
Hear our plea.
Here's our plea,
Josh.
I mean, the idea is good, and honestly, if they did something like that, where there was such a like deeply ingrained, you had to be patient and use your imagination, and had to sit there for 83 seconds, just literally just holding the stylus at the screen, and then it would show this cool thing. Like, imagine if they did something like that.
I mean, I would love if Imagineering just did Easter eggs for future things, like just around all the parks. I think that would be so cool to try to uncover them. Like they'd have to publish like, hey, there's stuff out there to find if you're willing to look for it, and like just make people go on the hunt for it. I think it'd be amazing. Talk about getting the engagement of the fans. Like,
so to that point, there is a whole allegedly, okay, there's a third installment to the Monsters Inc. franchise under production right now, which is really interesting with the new edition coming to Hollywood Studios for Monsters Inc. So
that seems like a cash grab. Rah, rah, rah. Cash grab. Rah. They shouldn't make a third one. Blah.
100%.
They shouldn't have made the second one.
It's not even a second one. It's a prequel.
University.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they shouldn't have done that.
They shouldn't have.
Reason, but...
And it breaks the continuity too. It's one of those annoying things. They're like, we're just going to ignore the fact that these guys pretended like they didn't know each other in Monsters Inc. And oh nope, they were roommates. Okay, wait, what?
Yeah. Well, no, in Monsters Inc. they said they knew each other from like the 3rd grade, and then they met in college.
Did it?
Come on,
is that right?
Yeah, they've known each other since 3rd grade. That's what they said.
I mean, I've only seen Monsters University once, and I'm like, well, that's forgettable.
I forgot that it even existed and didn't bother to see it.
Wasn't a great movie, but I have a daughter that likes it, so we watch Monsters sometimes.
I mean, and that's really who it's made for. So,
yeah, right. Not for me, who's a Pixar purist.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So what?
not for us weirdos.
The people who are the people who are deeply ingrained in the lore and like paying attention to all these things, they're not making these things for us.
Not for us. I did want to touch.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
No, I was just going to say,
what do you want to touch?
We're still doing. Nice. I was going to talk about the movie that's opening this weekend and whether or not we had any interest in that, but that's not news specifically.
What movie is it?
Hoppers.
Hoppers.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it's good. I you know what? Here's the thing though, like we can't complain about endless sequels and remakes and then not at least give something original a chance. So
100%.
I don't know if I'll have a chance to go see it this weekend, but I do want to see it. And I've heard good things so far.
Right. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. My initial reaction to the movie trailer was, it's Pixar trying to do Avatar. Like, we have Avatar creatures. I'm super confused. Like, they just took James Cameron's idea. But needless to say, I will go see it. I don't know if it'll be this weekend or sometime this week. Maybe take my daughter to it.
It looks super cute.
I think my wife and daughter are probably going tomorrow, but unfortunately I will be at work, but I will see it at some point. I will be that guy. I will go by myself to see
I'll
Hoppers.
go by myself.
I don't
100%.
care. Movie Solo is so underrated. It's the best.
Oh yeah. It's a great way to go. Great. I don't have any pressure. Nobody's gonna judge me when I eat the whole thing of popcorn. It's gonna be great.
I never understood the idea. Here's another tangent, but I never understood the idea of taking like a first date to a movie. It's like we're gonna go sit in the same room and not talk.
Not talk. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Like that just seems so bizarre to me. But anyway,
I don't get it. But one more piece of news that I wanted to touch on, just a little bit. That's what I wanted to touch. If you are a Disney Visa card holder, now through March 11th, you get exclusive early access to a free dining plan deal at the Walt Disney properties. If you're staying at a deluxe resort at Disney World, you get the free dining plan when you purchase a 4-night, 4-day non-discounted package, and that is also not stackable. We were talking about this before we recorded. You can't stack that with the 2 free days. So maybe that's a win, maybe it's a loss. I don't really know.
Yeah. I think it would come down to like if you strictly only have 4 days, then it probably makes more sense to get the free dining plan. If you have the flexibility, then I would do the 2 free days with the park tickets because that's the better value.
Yeah, it's a better value, I think. And then it looks like there's also a free Disney quick service dining plan when you purchase a 4-night, 4-day non-discounted package and you're staying at a moderate or value resort, which is kind of cool. And it looks like those are going from you also have to have park hopper, so that's another thing you have to have. But it's between June 28th and December 21st on select days. So there's that. But I mean, I think Disney's trying to, for whatever reason, offer the dining plans. I've talked about this before. I don't know if I've done it on a podcast before, but like obviously the Disney dining plan is not about money, right? It's not about saving people money. It's about convenience, right?
Yes.
So,
but that being said, there is a way to beat it.
Yes, 100%.
But
100%.
it does take some strategy.
Yeah, you need. I love that word. Yeah, you've got to be strategic. You've got to really map it out and weigh out the cost benefit between what's worth it and what's not. But I mean, at the end of the day, for your average normal person, it's not about saving money. It's about convenience. And I don't know. It's one of those things. Like I think Disney's shown themselves that they're going to be offering something like this between now and later or in the future. So I think that's going to be a thing that they're going to do. What are you doing? My daughter decided to show up. But yeah, so I think that's what that's gonna or that's just one more promotion that they're offering for 2026, and I think that's kind of cool. So but that brings us to the main event for today, and that is Disney Parks Madness, not magic. Tyler, you had the great idea of doing this. Tell me, what are you doing?
So with some help from ChatGPT, I had it rank the top 32 rides based on average wait time. So that way it's objective and it's a pretty even bracket in my opinion. I didn't weight it towards any one thing or another, but I wanted to set up some kind of ground rules. So we have the top 32 seated like the NCAA tournament. So when we go head to head, and we're going to debate these out, we each have our own brackets that we've kind of filled out, but we're going to debate it out and then come to a consensus. And since there's 3 of us, there won't be any ties, which is awesome. But the rules for this that I kind of wanted to imagine, if they're going head to head, we want to focus on just the ride itself. So nothing around the ride. So we're not factoring in like the land that it's in or like restaurants that are nearby or anything like that. So we imagine like in a fictional park where these 2 rides are side by side and we only have time to go on one. Which one are we choosing? So with that being said, we're going to run through our first 2 rounds today. So we're going to get from 32 down to 8, and then we will do the final 8 on next week's episode. So to kick us off, our number 1 overall seed based on wait time is Avatar Flight of Passage, and it is going up against Winnie the Pooh, which does not feel like a fair fight, but
It's not a fair
that's
fight
the
at
way
all.
it shakes out. So I don't think there's going to be any debate here. Flight of Passage will move on, correct?
100%. Flight of Passage win.
Should I just do an
Winnie the Pooh.
entire? Should I just do an entire? I debated doing the entire thing as just troll, as just being a troll, like the entire thing. And I could have done that.
I might have some of that later.
You got some trolling
in mind.
I can't troll here though. I think Avatar.
No, you can't troll here.
Would be. Again, I don't love the 3D. I don't think the 3D works super well with whatever prescription I have, and just doesn't. Like I feel like I'm taken out of it, even though I'm like my body's like, hey, you're moving and you're doing the spins and all this crazy stuff. I think that the 3D doesn't hit as well, and I wish that they updated it to the technology that they're using. That some like even what they're doing at like Smuggler's Run and Star Tours now. I think that the 3D, that if they could update the 3D just a little bit, I think that would be a killer ride.
Well, you know why they don't?
Isn't. Because they don't have to.
No, because they don't have any more glasses. They only ordered 1 round of glasses for Flight of Passage, and over time they've just gotten so beat up that like if they were to order new glasses, they might as well just rebuild the entire attraction, because those glasses were built specifically for Flight of Passage and that ride technology. It's wild. I talked to a cast member about it when I was there last year, and they're like, we can't do anything about it. And the question comes down to who's going to front the bill, right? Is this an Imagineering problem or is this a park problem? It's the same thing that with Everest. Is this an Imagineering at fault, or is this a Disney Parks Animal Kingdom has to pay for it now because it's a park problem? So that's the
somebody figure it out, guys.
Yeah, right? it always comes down to money.
Upgrade it, please upgrade it. Like it's just it's so cool being immersed in that version of that world.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm not a huge fan of those movies, but that ride, just the technology is super impressive. I mean, the level of immersion in the ride is awesome. So yeah, this one, not a tough call. Avatar is moving on. All right, our next matchup is Haunted Mansion Disneyland version against Space Mountain Magic Kingdom version.
Oh, easy.
This is a tough one. This is a little tough. But I ended up, I am going Mansion.
Also Mansion.
Okay. Yeah. I thought about it because I've talked about this before. I have a soft spot for the Magic Kingdom Space Mountain. Yes. It's very nostalgic for me, but the original Haunted Mansion is, it's the winner.
What it comes down to me is which one's going to give me a chiropractor bill afterwards, and Haunted Mansion is not that one. So I'm going to take Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Unless you decide to get in the Doom buggy with 2 other people, 2 other full-size adults, then you could have it. Yeah, exactly. You could have a chiropractor bill there.
Well,
all right.
That's a fact.
So next one, we have Test Track, and we're going current version. So Test Track 3.0.
3.0. Okay.
Against Soarin' Around the World.
That seems not fair.
What do we... I think there could be some debate here. Now, I ended up going Test Track. Specifically, and now if this was Soarin' over California, I might have gone the other way. But Soarin' Around the World, I don't like as much, and I really was impressed with Test Track 3.0. So I went Test Track.
I think I'm going to also go Test Track, only because Soaring Around the World, while I enjoy the smells, I enjoy the sights and things like that. It's just, I don't know. I'm not this might be controversial. I'm not a very big Soaring Around the World fan. Honestly, I think it fits. It's fine. I'm really excited for Soaring Over America when that comes in July. Like, I'm so pumped for that. So stinking pumped for that. Yeah. So Test Track 3.0 takes cake on that one.
Yeah. Charlie, Do you have the same thing?
I do not, because
Okay.
I have no comparison for 3.0. I haven't.
Oh, gotcha.
I haven't seen 3.0. I mean, even if I was comparing it against 2.0, I thought 2.0 was okay.
Yeah.
But
So you take, so
I
use
take
You
Soren.
take
use
Soren.
Soren. You're taking
Yeah.
Soren. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But in our
Okay.
official
But in our
bracket,
official bracket,
we have Test Track moving on.
Yep.
All right. Next, we have Remy's Ratatouille Adventure up against Big Thunder Mountain. I personally, and what's decided this for me was the rewrite ability of Big Thunder Mountain. I love Remy's, but the experience is always the same. And then, like, there's something about, like, if you can ride Big Thunder Mountain at night, and if you can time it while there's fireworks happening,
oh my
there's
goodness.
something like just magic
glorious.
about that. So yeah, I
And
say
I can't
Thunder
wait.
Mountain.
I can't wait for the new version of Big Thunder to be done at Magic Kingdom. Like, I can't wait. I'm so excited. Big Thunder Mountain is the obvious answer for me.
Mhm.
I will choose Big Thunder, but I have to be in the back row.
I mean,
Charlie?
I would also choose Big Thunder. Remy's, I love that ride, but like with the amount of times that we've been to World with Sawyer, he has still not gotten to experience it because it has broken down every single time we've been there. The something about the tech, something about the tech in that ride. I mean, it's supposedly the same stuff that they have in Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and even Rise. But it breaks down so much more, and I'm not. Maybe it's because of the scenes not syncing up correctly or
It's
something.
probably the 3D, which
Yeah.
they
I
took
was gonna
that
say,
away
I
now.
wonder. I haven't heard
Maybe
as many
now it's
things
better?
about it. I haven't heard of it breaking down as often now since
Right.
they
Yeah.
updated it.
The uptime is much greater now,
Which is
for
solid.
Remy's.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna pick Big Thunder Mountain just because it's
Big Thunder.
it's a Big Thunder Mountain. I mean, it's a roller coaster. It's one of the original things that has stuck around, and it holds its own against newer technologies and newer
Mhm.
things. And yes, it closes down for a bit for refurbishment every year, and they did some new track stuff. But I'm excited to hear about if slash like if they did anything new, if it feels better. I mean, if it's psychological when you guys go to MK, if you actually make it to MK. I'm not sure if that's part of what your plan is.
I'll be going to Magic Kingdom.
I'm gonna
100%.
make it to MK.
You will.
I'm making
Okay.
it to
If
MK.
for
I'm
nothing
staying a
else,
whole
I'm
extra
getting
day.
I'm getting the cheeseburger spring rolls and leaving maybe, but
Is Big Thunder open right now?
I don't think it's open yet.
It should be by
I
then.
don't know if it's open. Hopefully it's open by then.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been closed for so long.
Been over a year,
in
yeah.
like 3 months.
All right, hold on. Let's see. So let's go to the next matchup. While you're doing that, I'll look up the.
All right. So we have our first four from that top region there. Starting the next region, we have Slinky Dog Dash against Star Tours. I thought about this for a second, but I think purely based on the rewrite ability, it's Star Tours.
100%. It is Star Tours.
I think Slinky is a good ride. I don't think it's worth the super long waits that you have. And then the thing that throws me off, we've talked about the sight lines at Hollywood Studios before. It's like you get at the top of Slinky and like, why do I see into Batu? Why do I see clear across the park? It's like, well, because I didn't think about that or didn't care about that. But
Right.
it's a good ride for what it is. But no, it's Star Tours.
Yeah, I mean, I love Slinky Dog Dash. It's a fantastic ride. Love it when my daughter can ride it with me, but I don't have to ride it, and I'm, totally fine. So, Star Tours though, that is one that I won't miss because it's always a short wait, and it's a good time. So,
Yep. I would.
I will say. Oh, go ahead, Charlie.
I was going to say, I echo what you guys are saying. I would say with the updated technology and 3D and the addition of Mandalorian and Grogu to, I think that's going to be coming soon. I mean, again, they are mishmashing things together. You're going through different timelines and wormholes and all sorts of stuff, and it's you never know what you're going to get, and you could be the spy. Not that really makes any difference, but it's cool to have your face up there. I mean, when we were there, we did Star Tours. We did not do Slinky Dog, and we didn't even talk about doing Slinky Dog. So, and that's from a whole group of people who like love this stuff and are we're checking the news and we're making up fake news stories and all of these fun things about Disney, and we just didn't even think about it. We walked right past it.
We did walk
right past it several times.
Several times.
Well, I only walked past it once because I went the wrong way, but I was diverted.
And then real quick about Star Tours, we've talked about how the timeline could not make any sense, but I think it was just luck of the draw. When we rode it at Disneyland last week, it actually lined up perfectly because all of the scenes were based out of the sequels, so it actually lined up. So nice. At the end of it, I was like thinking like that worked, and there's nothing about that sequence that would stand out to me at all. So it made it just that much better.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool.
All right.
Star Tours for the win.
Yeah, Star Tours for the win. Absolutely. Okay, our next one, we have Peter Pan's Flight. It doesn't specify, but let's just say Disneyland, because that's probably the better version.
That is the better version.
Against Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. This is tough for me because I love Peter Pan, but I chose Mickey and Minnie.
Yeah, it's classic. The Peter Pan ride is so classic. It is the one ride that I got to rope drop on the day of the 70th and I did have to wait a significant amount of time to get in there. It was fabulous, but I still Mickey and Minnie's the technology, the way that song gets stuck in your head forever. Is just a magical experience, and just overall it's so cool.
Yeah, this one's tough for me because I really like the Disneyland version of Peter Pan, but I also really like the Disneyland version of Mickey and Minnie's.
That queue is amazing.
Yeah.
If
that's kind of the tiebreaker.
Yeah, if they're side by side and I only have time to do one, I'm going to pick Mickey and Minnie's.
Yep. All right.
I just
Mickey and Minnie's is moving on. All right. Next we have Tron Light Cycle Run against Kilimanjaro Safaris.
Safari.
This is interesting. See, I thought about it, but I picked Tron because with Safari, you can get wildly different experience depending on the time of day. Like if you catch it first thing in the morning, you can have some great viewing, but if you go in like the middle of the afternoon, you're hardly going to see any animals because they're just not active.
They're just chilling.
Right.
So and you'll have a longer wait time to see fewer animals.
Right.
So I just think because there's such a variance there, I mean, it is an amazing ride and like the amount of space that it takes and like all of that is wonderful. But I think the launch and that first section of Tron is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. So I went Tron.
It's so smooth.
I'm staying Safari all day long.
Okay.
All
Okay.
All
right, Charlie.
The storytelling of the Safari is incredible.
All right, Charlie, break the tie.
Better manage more time. Tron's so short.
Yeah. So we didn't give all the caveats of like if I had to wait longer in line, or if I just like it. What I think
let's just assume the wait time is the same for both, so you only have time to do
Tron
one or the other.
Yeah, Tron. Yeah, I'm gonna say Tron because it's one of the smoothest roller coasters. I was like from the beginning to the end screaming my face off, laughing, and not thinking about the fact that I could potentially throw up after I get off the ride, which is something that could happen on any other roller coaster. Like, like I knew I was going to be going forward. I'm holding on to it. I feel like I'm riding the actual light cycle. I mean, all of that stuff, for me just hits different. And I got to ride it with my wife and my son in the car, I think, behind me. And again, I think from that perspective, it was just really good. I do enjoy the Kilimanjaro Safari. I do think that if you have the opportunity to do that one first thing in the morning, when the animals are out there, because the temperature is not going to be too hot yet, that's the way to do it. Or the last thing in the day, when again it's starting to cool down, and you might get some cool sunset on the horizon, that kind of thing. Like, you should definitely do it then. But it's one of those, I think that if I had them side by side, I would choose Tron.
Okay, so Tron moves on. All right.
Fine.
Next one is, I think it's an interesting one. We have Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run against Incredicoaster.
Easy. Incredicoaster.
I went Smuggler's Run because I just think, like, because of the interactive part of it, and I think it's only going to get better. So I want to project, into like future versions of the ride. But like, would I rather ride Incredicoaster or be the pilot on Smuggler's Run? I'd rather be the pilot on Smuggler's Run.
Yeah, but what if you're like the engineer?
Sure, that's potentially worse. But I think the higher potential for me, at least, and I'm obviously a huge Star Wars fan, so I'm a little biased there anyway. I'm gonna go Smuggler's Run. So again, Charlie, break the tie.
Breaking the tie.
Yeah, I mean,
he's gonna choose Smuggler's Run.
So you would think that would be the case, since I actually haven't ridden Incredicoaster, but I'm going based off of the knowledge that I have of everyone that I know who's ridden Incredicoaster, and how much joy they've had. I would have ridden it if it wasn't closed. Like, I didn't know that it probably would have made me sick, but I would have tried it if it wasn't closed and the mist was on the tracks or whatever it was that first day that we tried. But yeah, I'm going with Incredicoaster, strictly because of you could get the shaft and do something crappy on Smuggler's Run, and not going based off of what the future potentially could hold, and making it a great ride instead of just an okay ride. But again, if I was going if I'm going based off nostalgia, I mean, it's super cool to walk into the cockpit of the Falcon, without a doubt. But you sit there and you're like, okay, am I really just pressing this button the whole time? Is that what I'm doing? Am I actually controlling anything? Make it so you're actually controlling something, instead of just like, like the small pivot that you have, and maybe that would become something better.
And apparently the engineers in the new version that launches with Mando and Grogu is going to have a lot more say in the story of the ride.
That'd be awesome.
Look forward to that. So nice. Okay, all right.
I love that.
Incredicoaster is moving on. Okay, so we're halfway done with the first round. So back up to the top of the bracket. We're flying through this, guys. This is fun.
We are.
This one's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind against It's a Small World Disneyland version.
Cosmic Rewind.
It's Cosmic Rewind. I love Small World. I love the Disneyland version's the best one.
It's the best one.
But Cosmic Rewind, amazing. Yeah,
it's not fair, but it's fine.
Yeah, that's a tough first round matchup for Small World.
Well, yeah, it was just based on the weight. Unfortunately, I think that kind of shafted it. But Guardians, I mean, I have to go with Guardians based on the presentation alone, even though it made me nauseous for like 6 hours afterwards. It messed me up so hard. But the presentation of everything leading up to when it messed me up so hard, and then like the music and the lights and the fact that you don't have to wear glasses and you've got these things happening around you, and it's just so good. So
another super smooth coaster.
Super smooth.
So smooth.
Yeah. All right.
So smooth.
So next we have Indiana Jones Adventure in Disneyland against Jungle Cruise in Magic Kingdom, which I will say, like the Magic Kingdom Jungle Cruise, I do think is a little bit better than the Disneyland Jungle Cruise because they have that extra like temple setting. I like that. So I would give a slight edge to Jungle Cruise between the two coasts.
Parks,
But
yeah.
that being said, it's up against Indiana Jones. Not a
Indiana
fair
Jones.
fight.
Not
Yeah,
fair.
Indiana Jones.
That's not a fair
You
fight at
correct that
all.
whip.
That's like,
Yeah, that's Indiana Jones being a 15 seed feels low, but we'll take it.
Yep.
All right. Next we have Seven Dwarfs Mine Train against Pirates of the Caribbean Disneyland. Easy, Pirates.
Pirates.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no chance.
The Disneyland
So no
Pirates,
chance.
if you haven't done both of them as a fan of Disney related things, do yourself a favor. Book a ticket
Right.
to California and
Just
go
for
to
Pirates.
Disneyland
Through
Pirates,
one of us, please.
And it's so good. Yeah, well, absolutely through one of us, but like either way, that Pirates
just
is
go.
just superior.
That's the one ride. Like if I was in that park and I only had time to do one ride at all, I'm doing Pirates because it's just the classic, and I don't care that it killed Walt. I'm doing it anyway.
No, absolutely not. You know, absolutely not.
What are
All
you
right.
doing?
That murderous ride.
So next we have Frozen Ever After against Navi River Journey.
Easy, Frozen.
Ooh, I said Navi River because
Nope.
I think that the attention to detail is better in Navi than Frozen.
Sure. I'm going solely off of ride experience, and Frozen is a much more entertaining ride. Navi River is done before you get on. Like, and the only really cool part about that is the really cool shaman animatronic, which blows my mind every time I see it. And I go, how the heck they do that?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
But with the new facelifts on Frozen, that one's probably got to take the cake for me.
Okay. All right,
So-
Charlie, what's it going to be?
So Frozen, you know, assuming that that I've ridden the new version and they've got the better animatronic faces and you don't get the Windows blue screen of death over somebody's face in the middle of the ride because it's not being projected correctly in the old version. I still think that Frozen has a hallway of darkness that has nothing in it, that could have had something, where when I'm riding Navi River, I am again immersed in that world of Pandora, and then you get to the end, and even if the animatronic isn't working, they still have a pretty amazing projection of the animatronic that could be working, and it's just, I don't know. Pandora itself is a lovely world to go to as long as you're not getting attacked by by any of the people from Fire and Ash. Then you're good. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Navi River Journey for this one.
Okay.
All right. Navi River's moving on. I will say, I think Frozen Never After probably has higher highs, but I think Navi River is like more like consistently good throughout. Okay.
That's fair.
All right. Last region on the bracket here, we have Star Wars Rise of the Resistance against Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger
just not
Spin.
even fair.
That's not even fair at all. That might be the most lopsided one of all.
Lopsided,
all right.
lopsided like General Hux's head.
Yes, exactly like that. All right. Rise of the Resistance is moving on. I don't think we even need to discuss that one
wins.
yet.
Nope. That one wins.
All right. Now, this next one could get interesting. Toy Story Mania against Tower of Terror. I went Tower of Terror because it's rare now. There's only 2 left in the world. And yeah, so I think just based on that alone, Toy Story Mania does have the rewrite ability, and I like the competition aspect of it, even though my arm is sore after every single ride. But yeah, Tower of Terror is one of those like legacy rides that
Yeah.
I hope they never change, because it's so perfect
So
the way
good.
it is.
And I mean, Tower of Terror has a rewritability on it as well. Like they do have randomized drops. The sequence can be completely different every time you ride it. So I mean, Tower is the obvious choice for me as well.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So next we have Radiator Springs Racers against Web Slingers. This should be easy too, right?
Radiator Springs.
Yep.
Radiator Springs. Yep. Perfect. All right. And then our last matchup of the first round, we have Rock and Roller Coaster, rest in peace, against Expedition Everest.
Rest in peace just for a second. It's coming back.
It'll be back.
Yeah, and
Just
it'll be
not
a different
Aerosmith.
version. So the new version might change my pick on this, but I went Everest.
I'm going Everest every time.
I cannot go Everest because it makes me sick. Everest is one of those ones. It was the first time that I realized that I cannot go. I could not. I couldn't make sense of going backwards in the dark, and then was sick for hours afterwards, and literally had to go back to my hotel room for a nap. Also, it's kind of a bummer that they haven't fixed the animatronic for the Yeti. Like, it's just not getting fixed, and will never get fixed, I guess, because I think they realized that it was causing like structural damage or something along those lines, and they're just like, okay, well, we just need to. So they did do something creative to make that work. And don't get me wrong, presentation
B
there
mode.
Amazing. Yeah,
Disco mode.
Well, B mode is now A mode.
Right.
There is no other.
B
There is
mode
no
is
other
only mode.
but it's
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, but that one's moving on.
All right.
Everest.
Okay.
Everest
So
it is.
Everest it is. So into our second round, we have Avatar Flight of Passage against Haunted Mansion Disneyland.
That's not right.
I went Mansion.
Mansion's moving on.
Yeah. As much as
That's
I
what
don't
I did
like
also.
it is.
Yeah, I mean, if they're side by side, as
if they're
impressive
side by
as
side,
Flight of
I'm
Passage
jumping
is.
on. Yeah, I'm jumping on Mansion if they're side by side, and they're both walk-ons.
Yeah, and since it's the Disneyland version, you have a chance of getting the Nightmare overlay, which is also great.
Sure.
Okay, then we have Test Track against Big Thunder Mountain.
Big Thunder Mountain's where it's at. It wins, hands down slides.
Yep. Again, it's that rewritability, the chance of nighttime fireworks. Awesome.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm with you guys.
Sweet. All right. Then we have Star Tours against Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Star Tours.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to go with Star Tours as well, just because of the Star Wars nostalgia, the it being not even I guess going into the history of it, but going into the history of what Star Tours was at the time and how George Lucas was involved, and I mean all of that stuff, and the fact that they didn't let it die, they didn't take it away,
Right.
they didn't move it, they updated it, they added better things, they updated the technology, they added the spy part of it, like all of those things. They have different animatronics.
Still popular.
It's still popular. You
it
could
tells
almost
a
walk
story.
onto it. But it's because it can take 70 people in a car. I mean, that's why,
Well, yeah, I mean, I think last week at Disneyland, like we had Lightning Lane, so it was pretty much a walk on, but I think the posted wait was like between 20 and 30 minutes most of the day, which is still pretty good
that's still
compared
pretty
to a lot of the
popular.
other rides.
It's a no-brainer.
And the storytelling in Star Tours is done right. Even with the inconsistencies of the timeline, the story is still good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still entertaining. Yeah.
Love it.
All right. Next we have Tron Light Cycle Run against Incredicoaster. Battle of the Coasters.
All right, I'm going to go first then. Tron for me on this one, because I did not ride Incredicoaster. Also, I do know that Tron is a smoother ride than Incredicoaster, just based on the technology that's in it. And something about that first 30 seconds out of the 1 minute that it takes to ride the whole ride is pretty awesome. Just getting launched. It's pretty sweet. So Tron for me.
Yeah. All right, Caleb.
Incredicoaster, because Incredibles.
Okay.
Okay.
I will break the tie. I went Tron. Smoother ride, the launch, also the different experience, day versus night. Just the whole look of it, amazing. All right.
Now
so
I
we
will
have
say
Tron.
this. Hold on. I do want to say this. Riding the Incredicoaster while World of Color is going on is incredible.
No pun
See that?
intended.
That's a
done it,
lot of
but I can
fun.
see that.
It's a lot of fun because all the lights are turned off. There's no lights except for
Yeah.
inside the tunnels. And then like you have all the lights come on when like World of Color's going on and you're
The
just
splash.
it's just something else. It's
Okay.
incredible.
That
Pun
is
intended.
worth pointing out, but Tron is moving on.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right.
It's fine.
Okay. Now, this one's going to be interesting. We have Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind against Indiana Jones Adventure.
Cosmic Rewind. Hands down.
Charlie?
If we're doing the thing where they're both right next to each other and I have to choose one to ride,
And
I
they're
can't
both
ride
walk-ons.
Guardians, unfortunately. So
Oh my goodness.
it's a no-brainer. Like I have to choose Indy because I can actually stomach that ride. I love Indiana Jones. We're talking about the Disneyland one and not the new one. So that queue is amazing. The nods to all the different like lore and stuff like that is just amazing for me. And I am a humongous Guardians fan. If they could have done a launch where I didn't have to go backwards and then not get spun around 50 times, I probably would have loved that ride. If it was just a straight roller coaster like Tron, I know it wouldn't have been as immersive as it is, but my body just could not make sense of the different. You're moving this way, but you're spinning this way, and I'm just like, whoa. So Indy it is for me.
I think we're going to have our first major upset here.
Oh,
It's Indiana Jones.
Jones.
That
Sorry,
doesn't
Caleb.
make any sense.
Well, because here's the thing. Like, I would say Guardians is my second favorite ride on Walt Disney World property, but Indiana Jones might be my like single favorite ride at Disneyland. Like that or Pirates.
Pirates.
And if I have the chance to just ride one or the other, give me Indiana Jones. Yeah, Indy is moving on. Awesome. Big time upset. Hey, that's why we debate these out, Caleb. I know. It's brutal. But hey, upsets happen. Upsets happen in the bracket.
No,
that's why my bracket gets ruined by the end of like the first day of the tournament.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
That's fine. I do love Indy.
This next
Indy
one,
is
I think,
a great ride.
Yeah, Indy is great. So to me, it's not really an upset, but I know a lot of people will probably say Cosmic Rewind should win the whole thing, but
Yeah,
not this
I can't
time.
wait
Not
for the
this time.
comments, and I can't wait for
Oh,
the
I love
comments.
please comment below. Tell us why we're wrong. We really want to hear why we're wrong.
And then actually be willing to defend it if
there's
call
that
you
as
out.
well.
Yeah.
All right. This next one I don't think will be quite as much debate. We have Pirates of the Caribbean Disneyland version against Navi River Journey. Pirates. Which means I'm not looking forward to the next matchup there, but we'll save that for next week. But yeah, this one is Pirates. Yeah.
R.
Okay. And then we have Rise of the Resistance against Tower of Terror.
I can start there. Rise.
Oh. Rise. Rise is moving on. Tower had a good run, but the Cinderella run ends right here.
Yeah, the only problem that I have with Rise is that it's on both coasts.
Yeah, but it's still incredible.
Sure?
It's like the feat of engineering and storytelling and immersion, and yeah, just the way all those moving pieces work together. It's amazing. So
it's a good ride.
Rise moves on. Okay, and then our last matchup for this week: Radiator Springs Racers against Expedition Everest.
Expedition Everest.
I can't. I'm gonna have to go Radiator Springs Racers. That ride is fabulous, and again, we're stuck in B mode on Expedition Everest, so it doesn't.
Yeah, but Radiator Springs is just IP.
It's really
Yeah,
done
but who's
well,
gonna win the
though.
race?
It is
Caleb?
done well.
Who's gonna win?
It is.
I don't care.
It's done really, really well.
It's so well done.
I mean, so is Expedition Everest. It's done very, very well.
Yeah, it is. It's done really,
It's
really
done
well.
Completely original.
And that is the tiebreaker for me. How
That's
original Everest is, Joe Rohde's hand in it.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, it just feels so like that whole area around. I know we're not supposed to be talking about like the greater land around the ride, but like you feel immersed in the world of that ride before you even get in the queue.
Yeah.
So I don't think you could talk about that ride without talking about the land that's built around the ride. Like it's part of the ride.
Well, I mean,
That's not
all
it's
of
part of it. I would walk through that area. Even though I can't ride that ride specifically, that's why I had to make that choice. It's like
Right.
again, you said which ride, if they were both next to each other, which one would you ride? That one.
Yeah.
The land around that ride is amazing. That has some of the best food, and it has some pretty amazing like shops and stuff. Like you feel like you're there, like you do. And that like, you know, if I could ride that ride and not get sick, I would absolutely on board. I mean, I'd be on board with Guardians as well. Like that one wouldn't have been an upset at the top either. But for those reasons, Expedition is moving on.
I do love Radiator Springs Racers, even though I'm not a big fan of the Cars movies, but it is just it's a variation of Test Track. It's a variation of Test Track. I would say it's a better version of Test Track.
100%.
But Expedition Everest feels like a one of one.
Yep.
Not necessarily for the coaster part of it, but just the immersion and storytelling within
so nice.
the coaster. Amazing. Okay.
That's the whole thing about
that wraps
Asia.
up our matchup. So for just a quick preview of what we'll have next time for our final 8, we're going to have Haunted Mansion Disneyland against Big Thunder Mountain. Don't spoil anything, guys. We're going to have Star Tours against Tron Light Cycle Run. We're going to have Indiana Jones Adventure against Pirates of the Caribbean Disneyland.
That's not fair.
And Rise of the Resistance against Expedition Everest will be our final 8. We're going to have a whole week to think about this, so don't give anything away. But that is going to be some interesting debates coming up next week. I can't wait.
That's going to be tough. I don't. It kind of makes me sick to my stomach that I have to choose between some of those.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Well, that's that. What we are going to do is leading up to our next week's episode, we are going to be dropping polls for our viewers, you guys watching, to also chime in and tell us your version, and we will have your bracket up against ours as well. So be sure to watch our socials, pay attention to our stories on the TikTok, the Facebooks, and the Exchangeogram. We'll be we'll be sharing those out and asking you for your input and feedback as well. So I can't believe Cosmic Rewind didn't make it, but that's okay. I'll just cry about it later.
That's how it shakes out, man.
Yeah. It's fine. But that wraps up another episode of the Grinning Dads. Please like, follow, subscribe, click the notification bell, all the jazz on all the socials. Like I said, we're on all of them. You can find us on any place that the podcasts live, whether that's Apple, Spotify, TubesU, all those things. We'd love to see you there, and catch us next time when the dads come out to socialize.